Hi, I'm Tara McDonald, and this is my true life story of Feel the Vibe, Till the Morning Comes by Axwell, the hit song and how we made it. Let yourself go till the morning comes, 'cause I don't wanna think about it, got to let go till the morning comes. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let yourself go till the morning comes, 'cause I don't wanna think about it, got to let go till the morning comes. During the early noughties, I was really trying to create an artist project, and I actually had a soul-driven project with some country undertones, and I was doing the singer-songwriter circuit in London with a good friend of mine, Tim Oliver, who I'd met on tour with a rock band called Thunder, because he was playing keys on Thunder and I was backing singing for them. So we met on tour in Japan, we got on really well, and we decided to try and create a project together. So we did the whole circuit of the acoustic venues in London. During one of these shows, Ruth Rothwell from Universal Publishing came to speak to me and said, you know, I like what you're doing. I'd like to put you with some other writers. During one of our meetings, I actually played her some of the songs I'd already written, and I had two cuts at that time, and a cut is when a song is released by an artist. So I'd written a song for a boy band, or co-written a song for a boy band that went gold, and that was the first song I'd ever been involved with. And the second song I had was a dance track that was released just on a small compilation in Russia, and she brought the dance guy in, Andy Thompson, and he said, well, actually, I've got an instrumental and we're looking for a vocal, a top line, which is melody and lyrics. We're looking for someone to write it. Would you be up for it? So I said yes, took it home, listened to it on repeat, and it was already called Feel the Vibe. I had to keep that title because the instrumental was massive, and there's a big backstory with Feel the Vibe. So I didn't know this, but Axwell had actually released the track, I think, a year before as an instrumental. He'd got another very accomplished songwriter and singer, Errol Reid, to write a top line and also to feature on the track, and that version was released in Europe. But when Ministry of Sound signed the track, they didn't believe in the top line. They just wanted a different song on top of the instrumental. So I come in and I co-wrote it with a friend of mine called Tom Kent. I worked with him because he was really good at vocal production and I'm not, still not to this day. So we did this together. Out of all the other writers that pitched for this song, because it was the hot instrumental at that point. Radio 1, like the biggest radio in the UK, were using it as a sound bed under different presenters talking on top of it. I could just hear it constantly on radio, and I thought this is such a great sign, and it was everywhere in the clubs. So we were really lucky, because out of all the people that had sent in their version of a song for Feel the Vibe, mine and Tom's was selected. We were the lucky ones. You know, felt like we won the lottery. They wanted our song. Amazing. Next, there was like a massive fight with the publishing. This song came out in 2005, and I only got my publishing share awarded in like 2022. So most of the money had already gone. I wasn't allowed my name on the record, because obviously Axwell had already made a version with Errol Reid, which he loved, and he was kind of forced into doing this version with me, and I was completely unknown. Ministry of Sound were really concerned about having an unknown to promote this record, but luckily the year before, or a few years before, I'd worked with Planet Funk, and I did this massive gig in Ibiza for MTV, singing like it's now like a club anthem, Chase the Sun. So, and I had that on, on video, showed them that, and they said, okay, now we believe that you can sing this song. And so that was it. That was the start. And then I just went round all of the UK performing this track. I did like the Radio 1 weekend. I did some shows in Ibiza with Radio 1. It was a really exciting time. The best moment about that track was David Dollamore, who was the A&R for me, and Ben Cook, who was running Ministry of Sound at the time. I got a call from them saying, tonight you're going to get the first radio play on Radio 1 with this song. And I listened to Radio 1 for like a few hours on the show that it was meant to be on, and they didn't play it. And I thought, they're not going to play it, they're not going to play it. And just as I arrived at my mum and dad's in my car, it came on and they were like, this is Axwell's new hit, Feel the Vibe, Till the Morning Comes. And my mum and dad came running out of the house, and we cranked up the stereo in my car and we just danced around around my car, just going in a circle with their crazy dog Guinness. And that was a really beautiful memory, because it was the first time I'd heard my voice on radio. So the writing process, I was listening to the track all the time. I'd pretty much mapped out the song and where I wanted to do section changes and things, and I'd already written a lot of the melody and lyric, and I arrived at Tom's with sort of a rough idea of the song. We edited, because back in the day, when you were writing a top line on a club track, they give you like maybe an 8-minute length song. So part of your job as a top liner is to edit the track into a radio edit, because the instrumental does the job for the clubs and they need a vocal version to get it on radio. So that was literally our job, was to try and make it as efficient for radio as possible and write something obviously from the heart, following. I always think the music is your guide, so you listen to the music and it dictates what you should do. You just have to trust in your gut, really. So I never met Axwell all the time that we made this record. He was in Sweden, I was in the UK. I think he preferred the version of the song with Errol Reid. His manager was really rude to me. But hey ho, I always think if I had to go and pay to put myself through university, it would have been really expensive. I never went to university. I feel like this song was me paying my dues of school, because I learnt a lot through the process of doing Feel the Vibe. After the song came out, it charted really well in England. It was like a top 20 track. And I had a booking agent after that for the first time that was booking me in clubs all over the UK performing the song, because it was sort of one of the biggest radio records of that year in 2005. So I met Axwell years after the song was released. I think maybe now he likes it more than he did back then. I think because I wasn't his choice and the song wasn't his choice. So that must be really difficult in his position, because the instrumental that he made was absolutely huge and it's still so loved. It's a classic dance instrumental. The music is beautiful. And then it was all out of his control once he'd signed the project to Ministry. So I met him at the House Music Awards in London, where I was performing the song. I had zero budget. I wasn't paid, it was just for a promotion. I got loads of my friends. I had like 3 backing singers. I think I had 4 dancers, which was my sister and her friends. And then my best friend was on backing vocals with another couple of friends. And that was lovely. And I think it won an award. It's always been a really well-loved track. And years later, when I was at Tomorrowland, I saw Axwell when he was DJing, and people in the crowd had the vinyl of Feel the Vibe Till the Morning Comes and was holding it up. So I know that record touched a lot of people, and I'm really, really proud of that. The admin side and all the drama behind the record, for me, made me not love the track so much for quite a long time, because I wasn't treated fairly. by Axwell's team, but I'm really proud to have been part of that record. Axwell, Ministry of Sound, and all of Axwell's team, I love you guys. No hard feelings.